Good morning to my morning winners who are up and ready for some good news on the greatest show you've ever watched in your entire life. Interview with the Man. It's me, MLD, and we're going to talk about how feminism is losing ground. The masculine comeback is 1,000% already happening. And I got so much good news. In today's episode, you're going to be walking with a hop, skip, and a jump in your step because it is over. The female bull market is over. All the lies, manipulating the court system, manipulating people, and more importantly, manipulating gullible, stupid, foolish men who let this whole thing happen. It's all over. It is over. Game over. You're seeing the beginning of the greatest comeback ever. All right? And I'm so excited to drop this heat for you guys. We're going to go right into it. Sit tight and welcome back to the morning show with me, MLD.
Commission established.
Make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame. It starts with learning dating, and then you move on to something else to push humanity forward. That is the philosophy of modern life dating.
I am teaching you how to be strong. I am teaching you how to be powerful. So when bad things happen to you, you don't quit.
Okay, because you don't know how.
Because you don't know.
No, if I'm not going to explain to myself.
In normal conversation where people aren't sitting around and patronizing you because you're loud and obnoxious, and a lot of people don't want to confront you and tell you that. But I'll tell you that right now, young lady. You're very loud and obnoxious and you're rude.
You wanted to blow it up and make me seem like something I'm not, and I didn't appreciate that. But that's okay.
Did
you
you
can
watch my
do
channel?
what you want to do for your content.
Oh boy, somebody's triggered.
And
She's
you can do
triggered.
that. No, Adam sent me a clip.
You should want a woman that you can build with.
She can build me a sandwich.
My man,
It's common sense in every other country in the world, but here you gotta get out of Venn diagram and be like, hey, don't post half-naked photos of yourself because you're gonna attract predators.
Good morning, America. And to all my European brothers, listen, you guys, the Euro bros in the Hot Dude Army, you guys were telling me you're excited that we're coming back with the morning show. So I got to know, where are my Euro bros at? Sound off in the chat. Things are looking good. Happy to see all you guys here bright and early. And we got a lot of good news coming your way. Shout out to everybody here. Go ahead and hit that like button. Looks like we're already getting some kind of shadow ban. I guess it's the word feminism in the title, but that's okay because if you're here, you're part of the resistance. Turn on the notifications, unsubscribe from channels that don't matter to you, and get locked in with me, MLD. I'm going to give you guys all the good news you deserve. And we're turning this franchise around. America's making a comeback. We're deporting everybody. Feminism is on its back foot. Women are losing their minds. It's amazing. It's never been a better time to be alive, guys. Never, ever, ever been a better time to be alive. What is up, Manny? What is up? You're in the house. I like it. Wow, I got the early worker. Chime in, bros. Chime in. Where are you coming in from right now? I want to feature you guys who are up and early, out here, crushing the game. where you guys check in real quick, and we're going to do a quick little session. I want to see who's here, where are we coming from, and we're going to go and knock this bad boy right out. I have a great show, guys. Guys, you're going to love today's show, because here's the thing. I'm going to give you a little bit, right? Rumble notification, YouTube no, shocker. Daniel Earl, Columbus, Ohio. Ew, Canada. Hey, it's okay, bro. At least you got a beautiful woman with you, right? Jersey Shore from Daniel. What's up? Cleveland, Ohio is in the house. What is up? Got 2 Ohio people in the house already. I like it. Notification did work here. Okay, so like I said, we're getting some mixed reviews from the audience members. Fort Worth, Texas. What is up? What is up? What is up? Don't mess with Texas. Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's go. Great state of San Antonio. Vanquish, Los Angeles, California. Good morning to you. Waking up this early and starting off your day bright with good positivity coming from me. I'm going to drop that. Guys, I'm telling you, I have such a good episode for you today. It's nothing but hope, and it's bulletproof. Shout out to my Giga Chad friend, James, up in Ohio, taking all the women from everybody. Shout out to Eddie in Switzerland. Vulcan Creator, good morning, John. Happy to see the morning show. Vulcan's Creator, where are you from, buddy? North Carolina, best of Pull Park. Nice. Great Britain, UK. Well, this is for you. Don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Oh, I think you didn't hear that. Here we go. That's for you in the UK. All right. Dunn Center, North Dakota. Let's go. Vincent, also from England. I'll give you another one. Oh, it's Dylan. What up, what up, what up, what up? Boston, Massachusetts. Let's go. Dem. Shout out to UK. Listen, I like certain people from the UK, but let's be honest. The UK is a total shithole because of the liberal politics and the importing nonstop of people that don't really like British culture. But it's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that. Everything's getting exposed, boys. Things are good. Let's start, okay? Real quick, we're going to do comment review, okay? And then from there, we're going to dive into today's episode. So this is what I want to talk about everything. I want to preface this, okay? So currently, the meta, it's a little dark in here. I'm going to turn this light up. Currently, there we go. Now I don't have to worry about these lights blasting me in my face at night and keeping me awake because it's 9 a.m. So currently, I've noticed this, right? A lot of guys, typically kind of you guys that watch this space, and I've even seen this happen to content creators, you know? When you watch this kind of content, online content, red pill content, masculine self-improvement, it can get very dark and negative if the creator is either a disingenuous person who is just intentionally trying to fearmonger to get you guys to be more afraid so that you're, you know, glued to the screen, right? Because, you know, if it bleeds, it leads. You know what I mean? If it's bad news, people click, right? Or the other side is they are truly just lacking the intelligence and lacking the ability to see into the future, to understand what exactly is happening and interpreting it the correct way. Okay, so I said all that to say this: we have beautiful things coming our way, and I have it from what I have today too. I have voices from black men, I have voices from white men, I have voices from old men, I have voices from young men, and then me, guess I'm so racially ambiguous. You know, I'll be whatever you need me to be. If you need me to be Latino, I'll be Latino because yo hablo español muy bien. If you need to be, you know, whatever you need me to be to feel like this is a balanced episode, a balanced message coming from a balanced place with multiple people, this is it for you today. So I said all that. Let's get going with... All right, let's do comment review real quick. We have some comments from the Friday show. If you don't know, every Friday I do a call-in show that allows you to call in and talk to me 100% for free, called Free Consultation Friday. So let's jump right into it. Boom, boom, baby, we're live. Look at this, so handsome. Okay, let's go real quick. We're gonna sort these out, make sure we're not banned anybody? Okay. Metroplex says MLD, thanks for the call, MLD. Disconnected from her, deleted everything from my phone. Trying to do less and just focus on money and muscles for now. Shit sucks, but I'm going to use it. It's positive energy. Bless up. That's our buddy who recently dumped that girl who wasn't interested in him. That's good for you. The advice to the last caller was powerful, really resonated with you. Thank you, my friend Basel Mossad. Appreciate the video on overcoming heartbreak. That's coming this week. And Jose, you're in the chat right now. So I 100% have that. I will go through this. I will literally address everything bullet line by line, my brother. Okay. Cute Face says, ditch the big goofy clown glasses, homie. Clearly a dumbass. I said they're blue light blockers. And then Alyssa Lee, she says, in my opinion, they suit you and look cool. I've only seen this comment because I wanted to ask you what brand they are. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I like your videos of squirrels. And then Mighty Zane, cheers to the last night episode. Greetings to the morning episodes. Let's go. Is Mighty Zane in the house? That's the biggest question. Is Mighty Zane in the house? And there you are, Jose Chung. I got you, buddy. I literally got you. If you don't believe me, you think I'm full of crap, let me show you something. So I have a YouTube show list that I constantly write down, and I'm adding you right now, brother. So you see, yeah. Heartbreak episode, top of them, baby. Okay, this is my. You want to be a multi-million-dollar entrepreneur? You do everything on your fucking iPhone notes. We'll get around to it. But no, I'll get that. That's going to be happening this week, most likely. We're going to be, so this week, we're also having a couple guests. We're going to have a guy who does a lot of street game and pickup in Miami. Really cool guy, Spanish kid, young stunner. And let's see. That's funny. Is that real? MLD, I heard they may install nets around the courts in WNBA games. Men will find a way. The dildos will continue. The dildos will continue to fly on the court until these women get their fucking act together. Mark my words. The dildos shall fly. So, let's go. So, we're going to talk about a bunch of things, okay? And here's the overall arching truth. We are winning. Because you know why? Because we're fucking men. All we do is win. Okay? Look at history. It's men winning. Okay? All of history is us catching gigantic W after gigantic W. If you don't believe me, let's just look at the current state of things, right? So, women's equality, air quotes equality, has been pretty rampant in America, going all the way back to the 1970s, right? When, of course, men created birth control. Now, that being said, they have had literally 50 years of not only equality, but they've had 50 plus years of privilege, of governmental support, of political support through candidates pandering to them, social media support, company support, school support, prioritized everything, given so much privilege. So you would think that given so much privilege, they would be above men. They would be beating us. They would be at the heads of all industries, right? They would be leading the forefront of humanity to the next level. So let's talk about what happened in that time. What was the big thing in the 90s? The internet. Did women create the internet? Did they help pioneer any great internet growth? No. Next thing that happened in the 2000s. What was the big thing that happened in the 2000s? Social media, 2010 onwards. Social media hit the world, changed it, changed the lives of literally billions and billions and billions and billions of people. The only thing women really committed to that was the use and abuse of social media. Let's move forward. 2009, the big day that started it all, was the time after the financial crisis. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Where are all the big heads? Where's the female Michael Saylors? Where are the female-led Galaxy Digitals? The only one person that's a female and leading everything is Kathy Woods. And
take my money.
Everybody knows Kathy Woods from Art Capital makes some really fucking dumb public statements and lost all billions of dollars, maybe hundreds of millions, not billions, but she's lost a lot of millions of dollars. Dr. B, $10 super chat. My contribution to the BBQ cooking on this episode. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate that super chat donation. You're the man, bro. And now, what's the biggest, most revolutionary thing we are having as humans right now? AI. Let's talk about the heads of AI. Google's Gemini is ranking pretty high. OpenAI, head of that, Sam Altman. Ahead of OpenAI is Grok, led by XAI and Elon Musk. DeepSeek is a proper AI coming out of China as well. Where are all the female heads? Where are they? Where? Let's take a look at the reality of what's happening. Okay. So the first one here is, you guys got to understand this. TikTok is a PSYOP device created by China to infect the minds of young people in America, mainly women. And I don't think you guys realize how often women are using TikTok and how much it is truly brainwashing them for the next generation. And it's totally, totally ruining them. Okay. So I want you to take a look here. And this is an average woman who has just a very funny take on things, because this is just what she's experiencing is just the daily life of a man. But take a look here. Okay.
Boomers want to know what it's like. Boomers want to know what it's like being young in 2025. Here it is. I just got off an 8-hour shift at work where I make double minimum wage in my state. I hop in my car, check my banking app. Cool, I've got $50 to last me till next week. Then I remember, oh shit, I have to run to Walmart because the wire in my bra snapped. I don't have underwear because it keeps going missing. My eyelash.
How do you lose underwear? Like, that's my one real main takeaway from this. Just throwing it out there. Let's continue.
Curler broke and I have no food. I bought 4 things. 4 fucking things and it came out to $40! I'm living off granola bars. But I hop my depressed ass back in my car and I look at my banking app again. Oh cool, I've got $10 now to last me till next week. I try to drive, but my car keeps misfiring. I can't afford to fix that. So I keep on parking, turning off my car, turning it back on until it decides to act right. 30 minutes later, I'm finally heading home to my 4 roommates. I pay $8.50 a month. Now give him that's everything included. But $8.50 a month with 4 roommates. Remember back in the good old days when a man could afford to feed, raise, house his family on minimum wage? And he had a second family on the side who he also house fed and raised. You know what I say to all that? Fuck you. You guys had it so fucking easy and then you destroyed everything behind you. Fuck you.
So, let's be honest. Sitting around and trying to blame the boomers or blame anybody for anything really just makes you look like an entitled asshole. Sounds to me like she's just a very financially irresponsible person. Because $850 times 5 is $4,250. You are getting had. 5 people pooling together to pay $850 each. It's $4,250. You're being had. If you're working 8 hours a day, congratulations, welcome to Manland, where 8 hours is basically standard. And most men these days work overtime. 12 hours, 14 hours. Like, working 8 hours is child's play. So, welcome to the real world. Yeah, I thought you said you could do everything, right? So, CA says, you think a father would want to help their daughter, but when their daughter is that girl, I get it. Well, again, it's just like, yeah, exactly. 4 roommates is where her underwear's going. Exactly, right? Well, the thing is this, right? So, she is just a girl that can't hang. That's like every day. Dude, I had to survive on way less as a freaking guy growing up, going to college. I remember for me, in like 2007, 2008, if I could make like $500 or $600 a week, I was like, yo, I'm rich. I am rich. My big goal is like, if I could just get a job that can pay me $400 a week, $1,600 a month. And I still went to the gym. I still managed my diet. I still dated girls. I still studied full-time, and I went to school full-time while working overnight in a nightclub, cleaning up vomit, getting treated like absolute crap because I wasn't even a bartender or security. I was a barback. And that's like the lowest rung on the nightclub hierarchy. And I got treated like crap. And, you know, you're literally a slave. And there was no respect tied to my name, nothing. And here we are. Okay? So I really don't want to hear any of this whining when all you do on social media when you're not complaining about men is talking about how much you hate men and how much men are trash and how much you're better than men. So man the fuck up then, sister. Take your fucking pig piercing out of your nose. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but she has a whole full face of makeup on in that video too. So yeah, you're clearly struggling, sister. Okay? A bag of rice is $20. A bag of rice is $20. That can last you a very, very long time. A bag of boneless frozen chicken is $10 to $12. That can sustain you. Broccoli is about $5 for a large bunch of it. You can eat rice, you can eat broccoli, you can eat chicken, and you can survive very well. You don't have to eat granola bars. What are you eating granola bars for in the first place? That's cancer food, you moron. So don't do that. So, poorly educated, clearly has the liberal mind virus, and blaming the boomers. No. Okay? So, no thank you. That's not it. Okay? So, they are slowly but surely losing the plot. Okay? Now, the second part here is going to talk about something that huge happened. And this recently happened in China. Okay? And this is a really big W. Okay? China has decided to ban OF. China has based the UK-based, by the way, there's so much smut and trash that comes out of the UK, like Wintermute and OnlyFans and all this trash, dude. It's like, no wonder UK is being just destroyed. Morally bankrupt society. China has banned UK content, UK-based content platform OnlyFans, known for its subscription-based adult content. The move is part of Beijing's ongoing efforts to regulate the digital space and curb what it sees as immoral online influencers. And just so you guys know, all right, America and the West is the largest cohort of weak men the planet has ever seen. The state of everything that's happening in America is 100% because of the men allowing this happen. In Asia, men, and I think it's because Asia has been around for so long, the men there clearly understand there are roles for a woman and there are roles for a man. And they understand that men and women have to work together. And you have to make a family, and you have to be a normal, contributing, moral person for a society to thrive. What's happened in America is we have basically just given modern women a free pass to do whatever you want, and we're just supposed to blindly cheer them on, okay? And it's gotten crazy and extreme. It's like, okay, so you're a young girl, you're 18, and now you want to post your naked photos all over the internet, and reality is the average girl on OnlyFans makes $150 a month. But now you're permanently ruined. Your naked photos are all over the internet. You're showing your vagina. You're showing your breast. You're showing your asshole. These girls are having sex with men on camera. These are regular girls who are sold a lie, thinking, I'll just become a millionaire like every other girl. All I need to do is sell my naked photos, and then I can delete them off the internet, because that's what they think. But the reality is, people who use pornography, men and women, it damages everybody involved. Pornography is a very filthy, immoral thing to be getting involved in, period. It psychologically damages men because it numbs them to like unrealistic sexual expectations and behaviors from women. And you get used to, you're watching all this pornography, you're seeing these naked women, you're seeing them doing all these things that don't really happen in sex, and they start to look at women as just sex objects and not actually real people. On the other side, the women who are consistently using pornography and making pornography, this is also rotting the woman's soul away. Okay? It's not okay. And I'm sick of people saying in America, well, you can do it, that's your life, and you could do things your way. I just prefer to do it my way. No, we have to start shaming immoral, sick things in society. Because society functions on a basis of rules. And you can't just have the majority of women in a society saying, I will just be a liberated whore and I'll just put my naked photos all over the internet because I'm going to be a millionaire. That's lazy, that's stupid, that's entitled, that's selfish. Everything that you need to destroy a person, to destroy a family, and to destroy society. China recognizes this immoral acts and this immorality that's happening within their culture through Western filth, because Western filth is happening because men have allowed it. Men are the ones who've ushered in all of this filth in America and in the West. So if you're a guy right now using OnlyFans and watching me, you are part of the problem. You have a mental sickness that is going to erode away at the foundations of your life, your spirit, and your well-being. It is a very sick and twisted, immoral thing to be involved with, and you should not be doing it. And the only person that's going to destroy is you. I'm giving you the message of hope and truth so you can wake up. You're going to find happiness in taking care of your body. Like I said, always, money, muscles, game, frame. You want to be happy? Analyze your life. How are you doing with your money? How are you doing with your health? How are you doing with your romantic relationships? And how are you doing with your frame, the most important relationship, the relationship you have with yourself? You fix those four things, no amount of pornography, no amount of smut, no amount of any of those things could fill the void that self-improvement and being on your masculine purpose. The masculine comeback has to start with people like you at home right now. You know, Michael Jackson said it best. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. You cannot want change in society, in your life, in your in your presence, when you walk into a room, in your social networks, in your family, all change starts with you. So don't come here and point the finger and say women this, women that, modern women this, modern women that. If you're not living clean, if you are not being true to your masculine core and your masculine imperative to be a good man. Period. Period. And if you don't get involved in that stuff, then you have free pass to say whatever you want. Because there's integrity with you, and there's integrity in how you live, and that's what we need. We need a return to integrity. We need a return to having morality in society. It clearly doesn't work. I would say it all started really with the Obama administration ushering in all the filth into America. And from that point, 2008 to, I would say it started to die off massively. I would say the peak feminism and peak women, just the insufferability stuff, I would say it probably peaked in 2018-ish. It really started with Trump getting elected, because that was people coming to their senses and really things are looking bad. Things are looking real bad. And we got to change now. So how does China connect to America? China is a superpower, okay? And China is gunning for global dominance. And they are very traditional culture, okay? They're very homogenous people. They have been around for thousands and thousands of years. And they are setting the stone. They are setting the standard. And the sad thing is, the young women in America, they are being targeted by whoever's out there running everything, the elites, whatever you want to do, what do you label them as? But it starts with putting the young girls on Disney, and then they become celebrities, and then through their celebrity appearance in America, they become overly provocative, overly sexual, and only in America does our culture push the women through the media, through the video games, through the music, through the television, through the movies, to be combative, to hate men, to be down-talking to men, and to hypersexualize themselves. If you don't believe me, I have some evidence to show you next. But China banning OnlyFans is a gigantic global W, because you can't even access it now through the VPN as well. Okay, it has been totally banned, and this is great because, as China has said, it is immoral filth. Shut up and take my money. That's exactly what it is. It is immoral filth. Okay? Shout out to Brandon M, $2 super chat, says Monday morning motivations. You know it, baby. You know it. Shout out to my good friend Anthony Demola. MLD streaming in the morning is a great way to start the day. 100% good morning. Yes, good morning. Good morning to you all. Okay? So, that is right there. That is right there. Okay? Shout out to Dr. B. He says, I will say my sex life got way better when I cut pornography use years ago. Congratulations. That's a very big W, man. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, if you use pornography, you look at that stuff, you know the shame you feel when you're done. The cleanup session, the hiding all the browsers, scrapping the history. How do I know? Because I used to look at pornography in my youth as well. You know, I stopped around like 24, 25 years old, but it was robbing me of my mental peace. And when I talk to a guy, I can tell when a guy is using pornography and masturbating a lot, because there's a certain drained defeatist aura about the guy. And it just ruins you guys. It's a shortcut, and as you guys know, all shortcuts, they only shortcut you. Okay? They only shortcut you. Shout out to Thanos 300. He says, hey, MLD, missed you. God bless you and keep safe. Thank you so much. God bless you too. Okay? So let's continue. And then shout out to everybody supporting the channel. Really appreciate you guys. All right? Take a look at this. Now, this is in French, okay? So you're going to have to read with me on the screen. But this French content creator, Dimitri Legrand, he has made something crazy. I'm gonna download this 5-hour video that he made, but I'm just gonna show you something that you should take a look at real quick. And it's in French, so you have to read the content creators' captions, please. Okay, so pay attention. If you're driving, don't do that, but pay attention here. Okay. And let's take a look here. So this says, in regards to this French content creator, he says, these celebrities are not self-made. They are shaped and manufactured by an industry that uses them as tools of influence. From the moment they're chosen, every step of their image is planned. First, they look innocent to gain public trust. It's Britney Spears, Ariana Grande, you name it. Then the gradual transformation into hyper-sexualized products. It's part of a system designed to program the next generation. And that's why you have these young girls in America, young girls in the Western society thinking, I don't need a man. I don't need to work. I don't need to do anything. All I can do is become an OnlyFans girl and I'll make millions of dollars. And that's just not the case. Because again, the average woman on OnlyFans makes $150 a month. So if you were to go into the street and say to women and interview them, hey, would you publicly release nude photos of yourself on the internet for $150 a month? I would say the majority of women, probably 99% of them, would say absolutely not. But they're sold a lie. They're sold a dream. And there's a certain group of people doing this consistently. Let's take a look here and see what I'm talking about.
Les clips sont des manuels d'instruction pour faire de vos enfants des prostituées. Toujours les mêmes codes. Animalisation, objetisation, tâche de léopard.
Sorry guys, let me go full screen because you guys got to be able to read the just take a look here because this is super important. Let me take the banner down. And I'll take the chat off as well so you guys can totally see what I'm talking about because I'm not crazy and neither are you. Okay, this is actually happening.
Les clips sont des manuels d'instruction pour faire de vos enfants des prostituées. Toujours les mêmes codes. Animalisation, objetisation, tache de léopard, oreille de chat, posture de soumission. C'est pire que du porno parce que c'est déguisé en univers enfantin. Couleurs vives, rayures, polka dot hypnotique, Barbie, bonbons, sucettes. La femme doit être consommée. Les chanteuses sont des cobayes, des produits façonnés par l'industrie. Ça commence avec un Mickey, ça finit en latex, bondage à 4 pattes, la langue tirée. Leur transformation est planifiée. Britney Spears, avant, après. Christina Aguilera. Ariana Grande. Sabrina Carpenter. L'innocence est une façade, un appât pour construire une fanbase, avant de les revendre comme des objets sexuels. Pour Rihanna, c'était déjà mentionné dans son clip. Illuminati Slut. Et une fois l'hypersexualité normalisée, on introduit des produits comme Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat et Megan Thee Stallion. Ensuite, on vous vend l'argent facile. Black China fait 20 millions par mois sur OnlyFans. Bellatorn, 11 millions. Message aux jeunes filles, une décision et t'as plus besoin de travailler. Former la jeunesse à se vendre, à devenir des corps de passage, comme Bonnie Blue. Des rituels sexuels pour ouvrir le corps et se faire posséder. Parce que tout ça, au final, c'est démoniaque.
You know, I found that was really chilling to see that 20 million a month. I think she made 20 million in 1 month. I doubt. Excuse me. I doubt Black China is consistently making $20 million a month from her OnlyFans. Okay. And then Kim Yumoto, he says OnlyFans is a stepping stone into escorting. Right. And that is also a gigantic thing that's happening right now. Okay. Women in the United States of America have also been sold another lie. Okay. That's the lie of being a sugar baby. where you are paid money by a more established man to be with him, to have sex with him, to be his arm candy, and he pays you an allowance. This is prostitution. If you're trading money directly for sex in any context, this is prostitution. You are not a sugar baby. There is nothing cute or sexy or endearing about this. If you're a father or if you're a mother and you have a child, would you want your child to go and sell their body to sick people for depraved sexual acts? Honestly speaking, would you do that? We all know the answer. The answer is no. And thanks to the internet, and thanks to men like this content creator in France, this is a global awakening that's happening. Because you know why? Men are waking up and realizing the truth and getting on the internet and talking about it. Like me, okay? Us, in the beginning days of Rule Zero, we were the very big catalyst to starting this global movement. Everybody in the world now is trying to do a podcast with a bunch of women on them. That started with us, ground zero, building it up from the ground up with Fresh and Fit, which platformed so many masculine content creators, which even platformed Andrew Tate, which allowed him to massively red pill the world. Whether you agree with what he does or not, you know, his shady past and his shady dealings and all that, okay, it was still a net positive. It was still a massive net positive. Okay? Listen, Jose Chung says, John is completely right. Listen, you're going to be saying that this whole episode. This episode, guys, is bulletproof. I have been thinking about this since moving back to America. And I have to tell you, what is happening now in America between the men and women is not healthy. Men and women need to work together. Mandatory. You need to work together. This constant attacking each other, this constant tearing down is exactly what the elites who engineered this whole fucking mess want. They want black people hating white people. They want white people hating Spanish people. They want blacks hating Spanish people. They want men and women at each other. They want gays and straights fighting each other. That's what they do. Divide and conquer. Don't forget in 2022, when everybody around the world started fighting back against these draconian vaccine mandates and these lockdowns, the government folded so fast. People forget that. But the government folded so quickly when people in France started fighting back, when people in Australia started fighting back, when people in America started fighting back. Because we were unified, working together, regardless of skin color, regardless of gender, regardless of all of that. We worked together and uniformly said, fuck this shit. You're not going to lock me down for this bullshit virus that's the biggest fucking PSYOP the human existence has ever underwent. Period. People remember that. Let's go to my next point. We're gonna keep it going with China and take a look here because again, China is a superpower, and what they do is going to echo throughout the world. Another thing that is brutally taken advantage of in the United States of America is the divorce court system and the unfair treatment of men. Men are treated by default with the court systems as the bad person. Men are locked into jail if they don't pay child support. Their driver's license are taken from them. And a lot of these times, it is becoming more and more aware and becoming more and more known that some of these men, the children are not even them. They're not even their children. The women cheated on the man, had sex with another man, tricked the husband into thinking, oh, this is your child. And some of these guys still have to pay child support for a child that's not theirs. Where is the justice in that? This ruling also just came out of China. And I'm going to read this. It's going to go word for word because I'm just going to told you, boys, I got this bulletproof. Okay. China revised divorce law effective on February 1st, 2025, introduces significant legal changes aimed at reducing impulsive divorces and reinforcing family stability. Guys, don't let any nonsense trick you into thinking that divorce is good for the family, okay? In extreme circumstances, when either parent is acting very irrationally, yes. But those are extreme. Those are not the norm. And in the United States of America, the majority of reason that a divorce is happening is because emotional differences. That's what it's is categorized as. And in America, women now, they strategically have group chats where they plan to financially trap men because they don't really love the man. They want the man's money and resources. There are women selling fake birth control. There are women selling fake pregnancy tests. Okay. This is all being exposed through the internet. The manipulation of the court systems, right? The manipulation of judges, all of these things went crying to pretend that something is, happening when it really is not. Well, this is a global phenomenon that's been happening. And China has realized that they need to reinforce family stability by doing this. Here's a couple things they did. Couples seeking a mutual divorce in China must now undergo a 30-day cooling off period before their divorce can be finalized. Okay? But this is the most important part here when we talk about how things are going to be changing. They say the, quote, most controversial change, a spouse can no longer claim an interest in a property solely tied to the other spouse's name unless they can prove financial or labor contribution. This means non-working spouses, such as homemakers, may lose out on major marital assets. So they use a very niche example there, talking about these certain homemakers are going to be out on the streets. But the reality is in China, before you get married to somebody, each family kind of audits the other family. And what's been happening, and it's been a big problem in China, is women would marry a person, we would marry a man, and then she would initiate the divorce just to get the guy's property. And because of the rules and how they were previously structured, men were getting into these marriages, thinking that these women were good and decent women, and then getting blindsided by a divorce. And now this guy has to give up his property. That is unjust, that is unfair, and that is enabling bad people to manipulate and use these court systems for, ill-gotten gains, to say the least, right? Dr. B's in the chat, he says, there's an entire site where women can get a fake baby ultrasound and pregnancy test. Please show me that website. I believe it. Okay? I believe it. But again, as China continuously does the right thing, people in the U.S. are seeing this. And once your population starts losing faith in your government, there's some serious trouble that's coming for that government. Okay? Also here, equal custody by default. The new law in China also promotes shared parenting responsibilities. Courts are now encouraged to award joint custody unless one parent is clearly unfit, where in America, the default is they go to the mother. And if you look at the statistics of all the data, it shows you that single mother households are the worst possible outcome for children. How do I know that? I was raised in a single mother household. I have coached hundreds and honestly, thousands of men who have come from these unstable households. The rate of incarceration for men and women are higher coming from single mother households. The rates of anxiety, depression, poverty, drug addiction, hypersexuality, starting to become more sexual at a young age. All of these negative things are coming from single mother households. When you look at the data for single fathers households, it's virtually no difference from a fucking 2-family household. If you want to have a society that's stable, you need a father and you need a mother, period. You need a nuclear family. You need a family working together to create good, functioning, well-meaning, productive members of society. Drug addicts, prostitutes, strippers, drug users, drug dealers, all this stuff. A lot of this stuff comes from single mother households. If you don't believe in me, take a look at the black community, where 1/4 of the households now are single mother households. Look at the jails, look at the arrest statistics, look at the drug incarcerations, look at the homicide rate in America, the gang violence. We can go on and on and on. If it's dark at night, you're in a city like Chicago or New York, you're not looking out for some like shady white guy coming to mug you, are you? The proof is in the pudding, boys. The proof is there. But by China doing this, this is a W, okay? And it's going to continue, because when men hear about things happening overseas, they're going to want to bring that here. And it said, as the world becomes more globalized, as the world becomes more kind of stable, as we trend towards truth, not away from it, you're going to continue to see a gigantic shift. Another thing is this, okay? Just in general, men are fed up, okay? Men are now knowing when a woman is acting crazy or out of control, it's time to pull out a phone, it's time to record her, it's time to make sure you're not going to get caught in a web of lies, manipulation, or any type of emotional blackmail that happens often with men, okay? So we're going to continue, and we're going to go to the next part here, okay? Now, I don't condone this behavior, but I'm just going to show you how fed up men really are, okay? So this is a guy clearly having a bad altercation with a woman who won't get out of his car, but he's taking it into his own hands.
Oh my God, bro. I don't like shit like that.
I'm not going to play it anymore because I don't know if there's going to be a random tit that pops out. I watched it. I know she keeps on trying to get back in, and he's just done. Okay, I'll show you a more family-friendly version, but you could see this as well, because this is red-pilling men to a point that it's undeniable.
All right, girlfriend goes nuts because her man wants to break up with her. This is part... It says part 1? Part 1. So this could be the crash out of the century.
Let's get out. Get out. My son's care of you. I don't care. My son is...
Look at his face. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So get the fuck out. Go in the living room or the bathroom. You don't care. You never care. Stop. See, that's why I'm doing it. The cops ain't gonna believe this shit.
Bro, this guy is so smart. Did you hear what he just said? He says, that's why I'm recording, so the cops ain't gonna... Because, like, this is so crazy. Who does this? Watch it again. You don't need to call the police. Call a priest. I guarantee you. What do you think the odds are that if the cops get called, what do you think she's going to say happened to her face? This guy is not going to have a home field advantage. And this dude's a smart guy. Very smart guy. What a fiend. Oh my God. That is a demon. That's not a girlfriend. That's a demon.
And for once, we actually have a good ending to this situation. The girlfriend was arrested for domestic battery and hit with a court-ordered removal and permanent no-contact order, while the kid is now living a much better life, going through...
So, there's another example. Guys are wising up and kicking these wild, uncivilized creatures out of their lives, and that woman's crash out is all over the internet. So the next guy who gets involved with her, he could possibly see that too, and then, well, let's just say she better change. Okay, she better change. A third thing is this: more and more men are waking up and getting on the internet and spreading the truth. Take a look at this. This is a great account. This guy's clearly, he's look like he's in his 60s. He's an older guy. He has an Instagram called Men Need to Be Heard. And all he does is sit down and break down what a lot of women say on social media as truth, and he dissects the lies. All right? So take a look here. It says, men used to go to war for women. Now they're asking us to split checks, sitting in the car while we pump gas, and asking us what we bring to the table.
Welcome to equality, ladies. Y'all demanded it. Y'all got it. And now y'all be bitching about it.
Yeah. He has some really good stuff, too. I'll show you some other ones. So, here we go. Firefighters, U.S., 96% men. Average salary, $46,870. Receptionists, U.S., 95% female. Average salary, $35,920. And you still think the gender pay gap is a myth. I'm just going to go out on a limb here. But I'm only 39 years old, but I have never seen a receptionist run into a burning building that could potentially kill her and everybody on her team for $46,870 a year. I'm sorry, but you can't pay me that little bit amount of money to run into a burning building that may or may not kill me and my entire team. Those guys deserve more money. Firefighters should be paid at least six figures. If we could fund all these wars in the United States and all this crap that's happening, we could pay the men who literally save society from burning down a little bit more money. But I'll let this play out.
She's right. This is a wrong that needs to be addressed. I agree completely that this needs to be fixed. And the best way to do it is to codify into law that effective immediately, we're going to reverse things. Fire companies will now be 95% female. And if enough of them don't step up and volunteer to become firefighters because they might get their freshly dyed hair and 2 tons of fake up messed up, or break one of those $200 nails they just got pressed on, well, in that case, we should make it compulsory. Much like we've drafted men into military service for all of human history. And men, I know, it's going to be rough. But you're going to have to suck it up and start sitting in air-conditioned offices from 8 to 4, handling the mental load of possibly getting a paper cut and making sure there's enough phone pads to take messages with. It's completely unfair that we men have oppressed women in this way. It's unfair that we men have monopolized all the workplace deaths and injuries. It's unfair that we've monopolized jumping out of bed at 2 a.m. to go race into burning buildings to save children or beloved family pets. It's a tragedy that we've monopolized getting cancers and other debilitating injuries as a result of 20 or 30 years of exposure to toxic chemicals on a daily basis as we fight fires. How dare we men take that privilege away from women? How dare we men force women into jobs that involve no risk, no real threat to their life, no threat to their existence, no real stress at all? No, it's time we right this wrong. Men, we've got to step up and step back. It's time we let those strong, independent women take over all the dirty, thankless, unappreciated jobs that we've been hogging for eternity. It's the right thing to do. It's the only thing to do.
So, it may seem redundant to people like you who watched my show and you've been loyal watchers for all these years, but there is a gigantic army of men out there that are still totally clueless to what's happening. The biggest people who are clueless to the suffering that men are going through right now are typically married men who they're married, they work from home, they don't really travel outside of America, they're constantly been inside the States, and they have their little echo chamber bubble of their family and happiness, but they don't really understand what's going on the outside. They don't understand what's happening to the average man. This is why people like Tucker Carlson just got called out, and content creators it just goes on and on. So these married content creators that are supposedly red pill or supposedly whatever, and they are downplaying the struggles of men. They are laughing at men and calling men losers and incels and virgins. And the reality is, oh yeah, you want to talk John Alba? The church is completely clueless. Yeah, exactly. Because the church loves men to be their little slaves. You know, sacrifice everything for the Lord. Give your money. You know, man up and marry that whore. That's not okay. Men deserve a better chance. And men are getting it because men are winning. And this guy is doing the right thing. He's waking people up. And it's happening across the board. There's another guy that I just randomly found this guy. This is a very eloquent black guy. And he's actually saying what I'm saying about AI and the way things are coming up. There's a big comeuppance coming for all these people who want to spread hatred and division between men and women. AI is going to be balancing out a lot of things. It already is. Fact checking, insta fact checking, and I'm telling you guys, the HoFax is coming. You're going to be able to do HoFax. Okay, you can already do this now. If you guys don't know about Pimeyes.com, Pimeyes.com, you can take a picture of anybody's face and put it into this AI, and it will find all their photos online. So if a girl has done pornography, if she does OnlyFans, if she's married and hiding the fact that she has a relationship with a boyfriend or husband, okay, all of this stuff is aiding men, and it's going to become more and more common knowledge. Okay. And I'll tell you, bro, I have used Pimeyes on a lot of women, and I have found some crazy shit. I was dating a Japanese girl who looked like the most innocent, cute girl ever. And I was finding out that she had done an OnlyFans before. And I was so shocked. I was blown away that I found this. It was unbelievable. I found out too late because you know why? I didn't vet her early enough. You know, she was just a casual thing. There was nothing serious about her. But the power is real, bro. You got to trust nobody and verify immediately who you're dealing with. Any woman could put on some cute makeup and whatever conservative looking thing, say, oh, I'm a MAGA Republican, or I come from a conservative home. And you guys are so desperate for any kind of female companionship, which I get it. Life is hard without a woman, right? I love women, okay? It's very obvious I love women. This is all I fucking talk about and do my whole life. And, but you have to fucking be smart. You have to think with your big head. Stop thinking with your dick. And you need to look into everything. Stop believing things at surface value. Stop thinking everything is just this perfect, great deal coming your way. You're not that unique. You're not that special. You need to look into everything. Check out what this guy has to say. I love this guy's account. Oh, actually, hold on. I I got to make sure. I'm going to cancel the echo. Okay. We should be echo free now, chat. Let's go.
Likely to be replaced first are the ones that don't require manual labor. Who dominates the manual labor job? Men. If I lose my job, I can go on a construction site tomorrow. I can start digging holes. I'll do the dirty work. I'll be carrying trash. I have the anatomy to be able to kind of adjust and deal with that. A lot of y'all ain't gonna be standing on top of roofs. A lot of y'all not gonna be sitting outside for 8 to 12 hours. So the first thing that's probably gonna happen is a recognition and a reestablishment that perhaps they do need men after all. The first thing it's going to do is humble the women that said they don't need men. When your desk job can be automated, when your comfortable job in the air conditioned space no longer is needed because the AI can just do it. They have AI right now that's coming out with better, more accurate, and more robust diagnostic results than licensed doctors that have worked for 20 years. So some of the jobs that's probably most likely to be replaced first are the ones that don't require manual labor. Who dominates the manual labor jobs? Men. If I lose my job, I can go on a construction site tomorrow.
So, again, like I said, it's happening across the racial spectrum. It's happening across the age spectrum. You cannot suppress the truth. The human desire to seek truth is the strongest desire in the world, in my opinion. Okay? I am addicted to the truth. I cannot stop digging. I keep on looking for truth. I keep on looking for absolute truth. And I'm digging and digging and digging. And I love what I find. Because nothing is more refreshing. In a world of lies, nothing is more refreshing than the truth. Okay? And that young black guy is an amazing content creator. I love that guy. All right? And now let's go to the other side of things. Let's look at a group of nerds. Okay? Take a look at this. This is Tom Bilyeu and a bunch of his kind of, these guys, yeah, they're nerds. It is what it is. We just got to, nerds are doing a lot of good things for society too. Not hating on them. I'm a big nerd myself. I love video games. I love AI. I love crypto. Come on. All the nerds need to stand up. Take a look here.
Young men are not getting laid, and we saw the viral 2018.
I like the diverse group of nerds. You got a black nerd, you got an Asian nerd, and you got a white nerd. I love it.
Instead of it jumped up, and we just didn't have any stats past COVID, and we're like, do you think it got better in COVID or worse during COVID? And we finally got the stats.
Get worse, right? Way worse.
Yeah,
no way that got better.
Way
worse. Look at that.
So young male virginity rise, share of young men under the age of 30 report 0 female sex partners.
And see the thing, people like Tom Bilyeu, he's been married for quite some time, and he's just finding out this stuff. We here in the Red Pill and Manosphere space, we've been talking about this, bro. I've been talking about this since 2009. I was on Red Pill Reddit before it got super fucking gay and awful. And then we had the blogosphere, the masculine manosphere revolution that was happening 2013, 14, 15 on Twitter. And then we shifted online and we're fucking taking over and we're winning. We are changing the world. We are changing the culture. It just sucks right now because it's always darkest before dawn. This is the final stretch that we got to suffer through. Okay? And you guys are doing a great job, especially the people that I talk to, people in my community, because my community is heavily focused around one thing and one thing only: self-improvement. The only way you're going to make your life better is by improving yourself. The government is not going to save you. Society's not going to save you. Mommy and daddy are not going to come save you. Only you as a man can save yourself. And the only way to save yourself is by leveling up. Money, muscles, game, frame. If you don't level up, by default, you're going to get worse as time goes over. And you're going to get older, fatter, more tired if you don't take care of yourself. But I'm living proof. I'm 39 years old. I am young. I'm robust. I feel good. I'm healthy. I'm a very high-performing person. I'm the blueprint. I'm the recipe. You guys can do it too. Getting old is mandatory, but getting older is an option, especially in today's climate with all the breakthroughs we're having, medical technology, stem cells, TRT, peptides, you know, amazing workout supplements, the gym revolution that's happening in America. You know, all of these things are totally possible. So you're without excuse.
Since they turned 18.
I mean, that is like proper exponential growth.
The housing market crashed, and then it got real bad since then. That was it. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out, like, do you feel like you have a thesis on that point and, like, what the hell happened?
100%. This is very simple. It's a confluence of events. Getting mocked is huge. Being afraid of getting Me Too'd is huge. Effect of, we'll call it social media, but dating apps, social media, all of that, where hypergamy kicks in. Right now, we are in a period where women tolerate a guy who's sleeping with multiple women. And so now a small number of guys, thanks to the dating apps and thanks to shift in culture, are able to monopolize a huge amount of sexual access to females. And then men have numbing things as well. So they've got pornography and they've got video games. And so they've got things that
they
like
got
meet
the new
a lot
Grok
of their,
update. Dude.
Hey, she be saying all the things.
Yeah, OnlyFans launched in 2016.
OnlyFans, that one is still such a trip to me. You can get your porn for free.
But again, I mean, you understand though why.
I know, I can tell you what it is, but to your point.
So there's a couple things he's right about. There's a couple things he's wrong about. The overarching thing that he's missing is since the 80s, there's been a demonization of masculinity happening in America. It started in the 80s when they would start to saying like, you know, oh, look at this child predator on 60 Minutes and Inside Edition. And they were just constantly like an endless amount of war. I think like the last great decade of masculinity was the 80s. When everything was hyper masculine, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, Patrick Swayze, Sylvester Stallone, Chuck Norris. I mean, that was just like those movies, Jean-Claude Van Damme, I mean, Steven Seagal, nothing but hyper masculinity in the 80s. And it was a good time. But then this war on masculinity started. And the reason it started is because they wanted to separate men and women to financially enslave females through taxation, through working for lower wages, through easier to manipulate, you know. Very, very bad, sinister stuff that happened. All right. But this guy too here is talking about it.
Because I'm fed like a steady diet of...
And another thing is this, the fatherless homes, okay? The majority of women that are involved in OnlyFans do not have a strong, loving, masculine, dominant father in their life. Period. They just don't. You know? And so, that being said, the root cause of all of this is taking the father away out of the life, taking authority away from him, taking responsibility away from him. Well, they give him the responsibility, but they take away authority. And you can't have responsibility without authority. And this is just happening like on autopilot now. It's exclusively in America too, when you talk about the media. Only in America do they consistently show divorce, fighting, toxic relationships, hyper emotional men, hyper masculine women on the media and everything. Recipe for failure. Recipe for disaster. You don't believe me? Go outside and look around. You'll see it.
Deep emotional connection, intimate conversations, like really, and I mean, look, the one gift I wish I could give people is to share a life with somebody who really puts you first. Whew. There's just nothing better. From my perspective, because I have that, it just seems so wild. It's the one thing that I never, and I try to put myself back in the days before I unlocked the key to being good with women in my sexual market value. I want to be always very clear about that. Running it like a business would just be so apparent to me. And in fact, I've never been bamboozled by strip clubs. So I would not have been bamboozled by this. I know that the women are on the clock. I know that their job is to extract as much money from me as they can. And so I'm so aware of the game that's being played that it would stop me from ever being like, oh, this is a cool relationship.
So do you feel like guys nowadays have just become more gullible, or the hole has been so deep?
I worry that the hole is so deep that they're okay with it.
Yeah.
That just like a video game can be a proxy enough to something that you're like, oh, this is dope. I mean, even talking to an AI actually made me feel like I have a writing partner. I can't believe this trick works on me. So it's really possible that they've just gotten so slick at the communication that you're like, this isn't quite real, but I feel the thing I want to feel. The one that freaks me out more than anything is it really does feel like We saw that DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, where they were talking about the only difference between prostitution and marriage is the price and the length of the contract. And so I'm like, if I'm walking up to somebody who might, if I'm walking up to somebody who might hold that belief, I'm like, and might film me and be like, yo, this guy's a creep. Like when you think about like Aziz Ansari and like what he went through for just being awkward, it's like, yo, that is so crazy. So I get why people would back off.
I know people have talked about overpopulation, but now it's all about, we're losing the amount of kids, replacement level. But I'm seeing so much sentiment of like, who cares? This is good. Like, great.
Like they don't miss it.
Yeah. They're like, this is amazing. Like this is great for our issues. This is less issues.
Okay. So I will give the pitch that people always give me about having kids. Because you haven't done it, you don't know what you're missing. That is true about having children. I am well aware of that. And so I constantly think about, okay, what's the thing that I'm doing that becomes the trade-off that's going to make that worth it? So first of all, Lisa and I we had a guest on the show that we've gotten to know quite well. Their kids were in town. We're like, oh my God, bring them over to the house, like let them swim. Lisa put out art supplies because one of them likes to draw. One of them happened to be like super into anime and manga. So I'm like showing them all the collection. And so you get enough of that energy. My sister her best friend has kids. And so we'll game with them. And so I try to have interactions with kids in my life. We have these neighborhood kids that play in our bushes. They've never once talked to us or anything. But Lisa and I are like, if that is the small contribution that we can make to kids having a good childhood is to let them trample our bushes, like not a problem. Like we want to see people having fun. So we try to at least get like those little bits. So when it comes to relationships, the thing that I would say for people is when you share a life with somebody, one, they shape you, which is tremendous. Two, the human mind desires connection so aggressively that this was another thing we were talking to Andrew Bustamante about. I think it was actually his wife Jihi who said, oh, one of the ways that you target somebody is you know that they need connection. And so you can get people to confess the most outrageous shit just because you're their friend, you're there. And part of American CIA tradecraft, is to build real friendships. I'm like, real friendships with dirtbags? Like, yeah. Like you really want people to build real, authentic friendships. And I was like, damn, that level of connection is important.
I'm getting some pushback.
Yeah, I'm getting some, yeah.
A good point that other people are saying that we need to talk about, which is you can't talk about this trend without talking about the Andrew Tates and Fresh and Fits of the world and their effect on this.
I would say Andrew Tate reminds me of Donald Trump in that he is a symptom long before he is a cause. What happens is you get guys that are being made fun of, told they're not enough, they're finding it impossible to climb the social ladder, and that is very demoralizing. It's going to make you feel some kind of way. And then someone like a Tate will rise up in the same way that Mamdani rises up when people feel disenfranchised from housing. You get a guy that's like, I got you, bro. When you feel like you're not being recognized as a man, you're not being celebrated for masculinity, you're not being pushed to be better. And because once as a guy you're pushed to get stronger, to get tougher, like a flywheel that exists entirely in your own mind takes over, and it feels incredible. And so I've said many times, one of the greatest gifts that a man can give himself is to get physically strong. Like when you go through the transformation of going into the gym, lifting heavy weights, at my peak I could deadlift almost 400 pounds. And look, by standards it's not a lot, but that felt so good to go from like I can only deadlift, let's say 185 pounds to like working my way up. You're like, okay, this makes me feel some kind of way. I have a feeling people that do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu feel the same way. Like I'm in control, I can fight, I can defend myself. And so there are things that take over in the brain. So anyway, you're feeling disenfranchised as a man. Nobody's pushing you to get better. You're not getting any attention back from females. And then this former nerdy guy turned kickboxer who makes a lot of money, gets a lot of girls, is in great shape, he can fight, comes on the scene and is like, fuck everybody who tells you you're not the man, you're the man, fuck all these hoes. You're going to be like, yeah, fuck all these hoes. Like they make me feel bad. This guy makes me feel good. And as for people that know how I got started on YouTube, it was all mindset. So it was doing the like, listen, you can really do something with your life. And we used to do these things called impact quotes. And I would take 2 or 3 quotes and I would do like an improv, almost like spoken word poetry, aggrandizes it a little bit too much.
I have so many follow-up questions.
They were very performative. And so I was trying to like hype people up and take them on this journey and make them feel that they could do anything. And so people would put them on a loop. They would string a bunch together and they would just listen to me for like an hour in the gym while they worked out. You know, I mean, just you can do anything you say you might, so you got to do this, but you have to be aware of that. You really can manipulate somebody's neurochemistry by doing that kind of performance. I think Tate is best understood as a WWE character who has risen to popularity specifically because people already feel like that. He puts words to it and tells them, I can pull you out of this. That to me feels like a cause and effect. Like if men feel that way, that kind of character will rise.
Yeah, and I think, again, if we look at the chart, it's not like his popularity grew right at that pivot point. It was really after this really kicked off, right, at the height.
This trend already started happening.
Correct. And so he was the answer to it for some people. When I would hear the pushback, first you got to understand why. Again, what's the actual cause behind his success? But also, is there anyone else, let's say, on the other side? Where's the positive divine masculine figure that's really being like pushed by culture?
See, the thing is, this is the problem with these guys like Tom Bilyeu. You know, his wife is like clearly some feminist or something, the way she looks. She and him decided not to have children. Okay. And he's mega rich isolated with his wife. He doesn't understand. I hate the fact that they fucking tied Fresh and Fit in there as like some bad fucking podcast. Fresh and Fit doesn't get these women to say the fucking shit that they say. These guys are simps, and they're, again, like I said, they're privileged. He doesn't get it, right? But they don't see the fucking truth. They don't see the situation that's unfolding right now. They don't see the suffering that men are going through. And they don't know, because they don't watch the Fresh. They just watch a couple clips, and his wife probably like, oh my God, are you watching that Fresh and Fit? And he's like, oh, okay, sorry, honey. But they don't see, like, who is telling these girls are Fresh and Fit to be insufferable? Who is telling them to say all this crazy, immoral, filthy stuff? Cheating on multiple men, doing OnlyFans, saying all men are shit, all men are trash. Why are they trashing Fresh and Fit? This is why you're sexless nerds. Because you don't fucking get it. And until you embrace the truth and understand it, you're going to continue to suffer. So I think it's extremely disingenuous that they say, oh, the Fresh and Fits. No. But even the nerds are talking about it, boys. Even the nerds are talking about it. Okay? It takes a real man to put the blame where it belongs. Even if it's on you, or it's on your whatever, whoever it is. Okay? And like I always tell you guys, the truth is in the comment section. Take a look here. Top comment. Stop putting women in a pedestal. We need each other equally. Women can't have a child without a man and vice versa. Facts. Okay? American women on antidepressants is a big factor here. That stuff kills self-drive. Like, the comments are not joining on these guys and backing them up. Okay? Nice almost conversation, but if you're inviting guests, stop cutting him off, let him speak. Yeah, facts. Facts. But yeah, you can see. Obviously, women do not need love to have sex. They certainly share the love of a lot of men out there, a lot of single mothers. It's funny, bro. So super funny. Okay? But the thing here that happens with, and I love how the chat has like come to a dead stop. 9 minutes. That means I know you guys are paying attention. We're going to continue with more of this stuff throughout this week. I have another episode about passport bros and how that's happening, but that's another symptom. Men are just saying, fuck it, I'm going to go to another country. I'm going to literally go to a third world country where women are more traditional and find a decent woman and have a family with her. Think about that. Because men are problem solvers. That's what we do. And this situation we have, guys, I'm telling you, it starts with you guys at home. So when you see some woman acting like a damn fool in public, be a man and tell her, shut the fuck up. What the fuck are you doing? Stick up for yourself. If somebody does you wrong, a lot of you guys don't want to say, oh, well, she's a woman. No, I don't want to do that. You've been brainwashed. You've been manipulated, and you're controlled. Okay? That's not how things change. When you see evil, there's two types of evil in the world. People who do evil and people who see evil being done and do nothing about it because they're a fucking coward. That's not a life I want to live. Feminism is losing ground. The masculine comeback is here. And rain or shine, I'm going to be right here, pushing forward, doing my part. And I hope you do. Until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.